Hi, I'm Rick Stivers with YoungMartin'sReels, and today we're going to talk about something a little bit different. After I got a comment from James in Scotland about how I should always make sure to turn my anti-reverse off before I open the reel up, I got to thinking about it. I said, you know, that's something I know. I've always known that you're supposed to do that. Ever since I started working on the reels, I was taught that one of the first things, and yet I still tend to forget it. So I got to thinking about it. What can I do that could make my whole process a little bit better? And what I decided to do was come up with this checklist. And I've decided I'm going to print up one of these for each one of the reels that I work on, and it gives me a thing to check before I ever start on it. And then I can mark in there what my status is, and when I get to the end, I can mark where things are. I've got room for comments on there as to what I did to fix these things, and I've got room at the bottom for the date and everything, so when I did the maintenance on it. And that can get folded up and put inside the bag that I make with each fishing reel. So I don't know if this is a good checklist or not yet, so let's kind of start off by trying a few different reels out with it. I've got a place at the top where I can put the name of the reel. So let's take a look at this reel. This is a Seal Star that I got. This one came from my dad. I came out of his estate, and I know nothing about the reel. So so far I haven't looked for a schematic for it, so I still have to go out and see if I can do that, in which case I'll be able to answer it. Next question I've got on the list is, does the reel turn smoothly? And yes, it does turn smoothly, but it's a little on the tight side. So that indicates to me that it's got old grease in it. Okay? Next is, does the drag work? Well, let's see. It's a rear drag reel, and it's got this, now that's anti-reverse there, but it is a rear drag reel. So let's see, does the drag work? Okay. I've got a clicker on it. Now, can I tighten the drag down to the point where I can't turn it? Yes, I can. So the drag on this reel is functional. All right, what is next? Does the spool release operate? In this case, this reel doesn't have one, so that would be an A. Although you could call this a spool release for being able to take the spool off. And yes, that functions. Although, there it goes. First, it looked like it was going to stick. And it is sticking. There it goes. Okay, so the spool release is working, although that seems a little loose. But I've never messed with a Seal Star before. There we go. All right. Does the spool release operate? Okay. Does the drag work? Can the drag be adjusted? Okay. So that tells me I've got two different things there. It can be adjusted and it does work. I probably should put those two together. Does the Bale operate smoothly? Okay. This is a Bale reel, so seems to. Okay, the Bale operates smoothly. Does the bait clicker switch work? Okay, this does not have a bait clicker switch, but it does have an anti-reverse, which is coming up. Does the anti-reverse work? Yes, the anti-reverse does work, and it does have click when it does that. Does the handle on the knob function smoothly? Yes, it does. Is the reel complete? Are there any parts of the reel that are missing? Okay. This seems to be a complete reel. Everything is here, although the line looks horrible. Is anything visibly broken on the reel? It's got a good foot knob. There's no pieces missing off of the Bale assembly. The knob is good. The cap is on this side. All right, and we know that the anti-reverse works. Okay, so this would put us at a point now, and here we go. I still didn't put it in here. So, does the anti-reverse work? Yes, it does. But what's the first thing I should be doing is turning it off now before. So I've got it. So I need to add that to my checklist. Does the anti-reverse, or did you turn the anti-reverse off? In this case, now it is. So this reel would now be ready for me to take apart and work on. Let's try it with a different style reel. Okay. Here we have a Shimano Cruxis, C-R-U-X-I-S. I'm not real sure how you would pronounce that. Okay, so the line is wrapped on the bottom here. So let's go ahead and pull some line out. Now, Can you find a schematic? I'm pretty sure we could find a schematic for this one. I haven't done it yet, but I'm pretty sure it would work for it. Does the reel turn smoothly? Very smoothly, and it's not thick at all, so the grease is fairly new. Does the drag work? Well, let's find out. Okay, it's running. Tighten it down. Yes. Does it operate smoothly? Yes, it does. Okay, so the drag is doing what it's supposed to do. Can it be adjusted? Yes, it can. Does the spool release operate? Okay, when we put the button, it releases the spool. And it locks back in place when it's supposed to. Does the bait clicker switch work? Does this reel have a bait clicker switch? I do not believe it does, so that would be an NA. Does the handle function smoothly? This end turns nicely, and this end turns nicely. Is the reel complete? All parts of the reel are complete. There's no parts missing. There's no broken parts. Is there anything visible or broken on it? We've got some scuffed paint, but that's really all. Okay. Does the anti-reverse work? Yes, and is it reverse or turn offable? It does not appear that we can turn off the anti-reverse on this reel. Okay, so here, no, it does not have an anti-reverse that can be turned off. So that's got this reel ready. I would be ready at this point to start working on this reel. So the checklist works for this. The only thing it doesn't is I don't have anything to tell me to turn the anti-reverse off. Okay, let's try it on this Shakespeare skip. Could you find a schematic? No, could not. Does the reel turn smoothly? No, it does not turn smoothly. I mean, it turns. Can you hear it? Let me get it up closer to the camera. No. Okay. Does the drag work? Well, has a drag knob on it. Let's get some of the line out on it and put it out and see if the drag actually functions or if the knob just turns. Okay. Well, so far, okay, drag does work. It's a little sketchy, but it's working. Okay. I guess I should add a line for, does the line wind in smoothly? Because in this case it does not. Okay. Does the spool release like it should? Well, yes it does, but the line's all shot, so it doesn't want to come out. It's taking a set. Can the drag be adjusted? Yes. Then there is no Bale, so that's an NA. Does the bait clicker switch? We don't have a bait clicker on this, so that's an NA. Does the handle turn smoothly? Yes, it does. Is the reel complete? It appears that all parts of the reel are here and nothing appears to be broken. Okay, is there an anti-reverse that can be turned off? There is not. So that's as far as this reel can go, and at this point it would be ready. So far the checklist is working pretty good. I just need to add that one step in there for did you turn off the anti-reverse. Let's come over to this side and let's move into this pin reel. All right. Could you find a schematic? Yes, there is a schematic out there for this. This is the Monofill 25. Does the reel turn smoothly? Very smoothly. It didn't when I started playing with it last week, I'll be honest with you. The frame was bent to the right, and so I had to spend some time getting the frame tweaked back into shape so that it's all square, and now it turns beautifully. Okay. Does the drag work? Well, let's have a look. See if I can get hold of a line end here that might want to come out. No, so we'll do it the old-fashioned way, running my thumb against it. Okay, no drag yet. Let's loosen it up a little bit. Okay, there you go. The drag's working. Can you tighten it down? Yes. Now the line looks like it wants to come loose. There we go. Now we can really check the drag. That's really tight. There we go. Drag pulls. Can we tighten it down to where you can't pull it? Absolutely. Okay. So, drag is sticky on it though. It wants to hold real tight and then pop loose. So, it needs a little work on the drag washers. But the drag does work and it can be adjusted. Does the spool release operate? Yes, it does. Just comes right on out. Okay. Then to flip it back, it locks back, winds beautifully. Does the bait clicker function? Very well. Can you turn it off? Yes, it does. Okay. Does the handle function? Does that knob turn easily? Yes. Is the reel complete? Yes. All parts of this reel are here and visible. Is anything broken on the reel? I have examined it, and the only thing, I haven't found anything on this reel at all that is broken. No chips on the side plates, nothing. So this one was good there. And the anti-reverse, now again, this is one that cannot be turned off. You can't turn the anti-reverse off on this fishing reel. So, again, this is one of those where NA works beautifully. How about this guy? This Baki Brown Spinster. I'm really excited about getting to play with this fishing reel. This was made by Airx, which is a division of Lionel, the train company, and I just think this is a really neat old fishing reel. So, can I find a schematic? No, I've been unable to find a schematic for it. Does the reel turn smoothly? Yes, it does. It turns very smoothly. Does the drag work? Let's find out. Yes, it is. Drag works fine. Does the spool release operate? Well, we don't have one. What we have is a Bale release. Okay, and the Bale comes right over. It's a half Bale, and it moves over and comes back just beautifully. Can the drag be adjusted? Well, let's find out. Oh yeah. Does it need some lubrication? Yes, it does. Because it's almost all on or all off. There's not much turn between it being light and really heavy. Okay, does the bait clicker work? This one doesn't have a bait clicker. Does the handle knob function properly? Yes, it does, but it's a little bit tight, so it needs to be lubed. You can hear it squeak maybe. Is the reel complete? Yes, all parts of this reel are present and accounted for. Is there anything broken on it? No, nothing I've been able to. Oh yes, the adjustment knob here for your drag is broken. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do, I can't find one, and what I believe that I might do is take a Dremel tool and smooth it so that it looks even, at least, instead of looking with these jagged edges, so that it's kind of smoothed out and the same on all the way around, and make it as good as it can be. And I think it'll function just fine. Functions fine now, but it's just a little rough looking, so I'd like to clean it up a little bit. Does the anti-reverse work? Let's find out. Yes, it does. Can you turn it on and off? Yes, you can. Now, at this point, for this reel would be, is it in this position? Yes, and it's ready then to open up the side plate with the anti-reverse off. With it on, you can cause things to spring out and pop out loose. We don't want that. You want to make sure it's in this position before you open it. So hopefully with this checklist, as I use it, I'm going to start finding that I make less and less mistakes. Let's take a look at this Johnson graphite Tangle Free 10. Can I find a schematic? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can get a schematic for this one. Does the reel turn smoothly? It's tight. It's pretty tight. Not to the point where I'm risking grinding off teeth, but it's pretty tight. Does the drag work? Let's find out. Okay, can you tighten it? Yes, can we tighten it down to where we have no drag? Not so far. There we go. Yes, we can. So drag is adjustable. Does the Bale operate smoothly? Don't have a Bale. Doesn't have a bait clicker, so we don't have to worry about that. Does the handle knob function smoothly? Yes, it does. It could use a little lubrication, but it rattles a little bit. But it's not tight. Is there anything physically broken? The only thing we got on this one is we need to soak this in some alcohol maybe and see if we can get this old sticker off of it. Somebody had a big sticker on the front of it. I don't know if it was a yard sale sticker or what, but whatever it is, we'll see if we can't get that off. Is the anti-reverse, can it be turned off? No, it cannot. Does the anti-reverse work? Yes, it does work. Can it turn it off? No. So this wheel would be one that at this point we would go ahead and start working on it. How about this guy? It's the Iowa 7290C. Now I did a video on one of these. It sure looked a lot better than this one, but this one actually, believe it or not, mechanically is in better shape than that one was. And could we find a schematic? No, I was not able to find a schematic for it. Does the reel turn smoothly? Very smoothly. It's not a, quick spin it with your finger and it'll keep going, but it's still pretty smooth. Does the drag work? Well, tighten it down a little bit. Yes, it does. Drag works fine. Does the spool release operate? We don't have a spool release. What we have is a Bale, and no, the Bale does not release. The trips right here to let it go right there, and that's as far as it comes over. It doesn't release the rest of the way. So this one has a Bale functionality problem. Does the bait clicker work? Don't have one. Does the handle suit? Yes, the handle turns smoothly. Is the reel complete? Well, aside from paint, I'd say yes. This reel, what I'm going to do with it, I'm going to tear it down, sand it down, and I'm going to paint it up a pretty kid's color. Because I want some kid to be able to say, hey, this was a custom reel that a guy did and gave to me. And we're going to paint this up a pretty color. I think I've got a nice bronze gold sitting down in the garage doing nothing that I might use for that purpose. Because it's a really sweet reel. It operates nice and smooth. It does everything we would want it to do, except that, which we don't want it to do. And the anti-reverse can be turned off. So this is one that we would flip to this position before we take it apart. Which when I did the other one, I don't think I did that. So again, this is one that would help with the checklist. And look at this. We got the Zebco 700 Hoss, and it is tight. This guy's very tight. It's got a dent in the face. I'm going to try to roll that dent out. But can we find a schematic? I think maybe we probably can. I'm going to try. I looked twice and I didn't find one. But this being a Zebco 700, I should be able to find it for that. Does the reel turn smoothly? No, sir, it does not. It turns, but you have to work at it. This is not an easy turn reel at this point. Does the drag work? This reel doesn't have any drag. Does the spool release operate? I don't think so. It's pushing the button, but I don't think it's releasing the spool. Let's see if we can pop it open and find out for sure. No, screws are too tight. Yeah, I don't think that's releasing the spool. It's supposed to, but I did that time. There it goes. It's taking it a while for it to pop loose. So it is releasing the spool. It's just taking a long time to come back. Does the Bale operate? No Bale. No bait clicker. Does the handle function smoothly? Yes, it does. Is the reel complete? Yes, the reel appears to be oh, wait a minute. We do have a bait clicker. And it does not work. Okay, so the bait clicker does not work. So that's something we'd have to look at and see if we can get operating again. The reel seems to be complete. Is anything physically broken? Aside from the dent on the front, everything seems to be complete on this reel. Does the anti-reverse work? No, it does not. Okay, can you turn it on and off? No, we cannot. Oh, wait a minute. That's not a bait clicker. There we go. That is the anti-reverse on and off. There we go. So we would want to put it in that position so the anti-reverse is turned off. There we go. And then we've got this SX3, which this is exactly, it's almost the same exact reel as the GX20 in the functionality wise. It's got that same double Bale on the Bale that we messed with yesterday. Again, this one doesn't work just like that one didn't. All we had to do was take it apart and clean it, and that got it up and working again. So this one, again, I was unable to find a schematic. These Ryobi reels, I can't find schematics for them, so no. Does the reel turn smoothly? Yes, it does. Does the drag work? Yes, it does. Can it be adjusted? Yes, it can. Does the spool release operate? We don't have one. Does the Bale operate smoothly? No, it does not. It does not come all the way back. Does the bait clicker work? We don't have one. Does the handle knob function smoothly? It does. Is the reel complete? Yes, all parts of the reel are here. Is anything visibly broken on the reel? No. Everything is good. Does the anti-reverse work? Yes, it does. This is the only problem that I know of with this reel. I'm going to bring this up close so you can hear it. Hear that? That's what happens when you wind it in reverse. Forward, it sounds fine. That sounds horrible. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix that or not. But again, we would make sure that this was in the anti-reverse direction before we operate it, before we take the side off. And there we go. So this works. The checklist works. It's going to operate fine for all the reels that we're doing. The only thing I need to do is customize. Go ahead and add up. Does the anti-reverse work? And so, did you turn the anti-reverse off? That's the most important. Did you turn the anti-reverse off? That was the whole reason behind starting it. And that's one thing I left off of the checklist. So for all that vast variety of reels, this checklist still worked the same. And so I'm going to go through, add that one item on there, and I'm going to start using one of these on every reel that we do, and we'll see if it doesn't work better. See if we stop making dumb mistakes. All right, so this is Rick Stivers with Young Martin's Reels, signing out.